Do you believe that you have the power to influence political systems, politicians, healthcare systems, banking systems, financial institutions, peace and heaven on earth? Do you believe that you have the ability to shift anything with your attention and your focus? Because you do. And here's how. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. You can't focus on hell and the devil and expect to live heaven on earth. You can't focus on what's going wrong, what's been done, what you're afraid of, what you don't like, and expect to live what you prefer, what you love, what you feel safe and secure about, what you feel great about. And so when it comes to things that feel so big and so separate from you, understand that that's a belief and that's a perspective that, again, with your attention and your energy, you're just reinforcing and you're making more. And I want you to imagine those thoughts and opinions are like a boomerang. And whatever subject that you're thinking about with those thoughts, say, for example, it's a politician or someone that you heavily are displeased with. Not only did those thoughts and opinions go to them and stick to them and make them more of what you don't want, they boomerang back to you and now activate more within you the same. So now other people that have those similar characteristics and attributes you identify and align with and become coherent with more. And so how do you shift and change political systems and politicians and governments and healthcare systems and financial institutions, or whatever else it is that you want to change, making it your heaven on earth? You line up with what you want, because those are all just neutral choices. You're the one giving them inherent meaning and definitions. And the meaning and the definition that you give them determines the outcome that you receive. And they could be the best thing that's ever happened to you in this whole entire planet, or they could be the worst. And by your perspective and by your energy and by your attention and your focus and your consciousness determines the ripples that go out, that then not only reflect that to you, but affect everything and everyone. So when you're in a state of noticing the divinity in everything and everyone and feeling like you're living heaven on earth now, that light, that unconditional love, that radiance affects everything. Imagine being in proximity to somebody that lives like that. Imagine how healing it feels just to be in their presence. Imagine that they have animals just drawn to them, and nature feels like a fairy tale. That's what's possible. That's your reality if you allow it to be. I'm a living example of that. I want that for anyone else that wants that for themselves. But remember, you can't look at something and feel like it's too big or too separate from you, because there's nothing that's separate from you. You can't feel like you're powerless to anything or anyone, because if you believe that, that will be reflected back to you. You are a creator within your own creation. We are all here co-creating together. Each of us an actor in each other's play. And just like everything, there's positive and negative that exists within everything. And what you focus on is what you get. And if you continue to focus on the negative in something or someone else, or situations or circumstances or systems, then you perpetuate it more and more. And the only way that will ever transmute and change and shift is if you change and shift. Just like looking at the mirror reflection, expecting to see the reflection that's frowning, looking at you, asking it to change first before you change. It's never going to turn out that way. Never going to happen that way. You have to change first. So if you want to see something change, you have to know it. You have to expect it. You have to line up with it. You have to look for easy existing matches and possibilities of where that is already happening in other areas, and notice it more and activate it more and perpetuate it and reinforce it more. And then as you become more and more entrained with that frequency, that probability, that possibility, you can know it in things bigger and stronger. You have the ability to change anything with your energy, with your attention, and with your focus. Be disciplined with your focus. Don't be lazy. Don't let yourself go to that natural tendency to complain and look for what's wrong. That is a normal, natural thing that we are trained to do to keep us safe, is to look what's wrong, for what's wrong in us and others and circumstances and situations. But you are a master. You're here. This is the greatest time of awakening on this planet. You're here to show how it's done. So, live up to that. Live up to that. You're here to create heaven on earth. It's already happening for me and for many others. Your attention, your thoughts, your energy. It's your currency. It is the best currency. It is the most valuable currency. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy, and that must become more. What you focus on perpetuates more. What do you want to perpetuate more of? The light or the darkness? The love or the hate? The right or the wrong? The good or the bad? You get to decide. Only you can decide where you put your attention. I love you.